Welcome back to my Stanley Cup playoff previews. Today we're going to be previewing the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning second round series. But before that, let's talk about what happened in round one. So obviously we had 2 Game 7 overtimes yesterday, and we had 5 Game 7s in one round, which is honestly very exciting. Such close series that started out so boring but ended up being pretty amazing, like the Calgary and Dallas series. I think the only decisive one was the Colorado and Nashville series, which was a sweep. And of course, I think the most exciting series, probably Toronto and Tampa. And Toronto loses again, and they don't break their curse of 18 years without winning a playoff series. But Florida does, so it's got to sting for Toronto. I don't think it stings in the same way, but definitely stings, right? So let's take a look at my bracket here and what happened to it. So my bracket surprisingly is not really shattered yet. I did get 7 out of 8, which is pretty good. Overall, I do think my predictions are pretty safe, except for the Oilers and Kings series, which I predicted wrong. The Rangers almost disappointed me, so you know about that. A quick disclaimer, I think, before we start this preview is that you'll see my round 2 predictions here, but they might change a little. I do have one matchup that I'm going to predict differently for my bracket because of what I've seen in round 1. So take note of that. The rest should be the same, I believe. So yeah, spoilers for my predictions here. But here we go. I think my bracket was pretty good. I don't think it was the best. I wish I got the Edmonton one too, but you can't get everything, right? You can't win everything. Let's get into our preview. So Florida and Tampa. Game 1's on Tuesday in Florida at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be very exciting. So the Florida Panthers, 58-18-6, 122 points, defeated the Washington Capitals in 6 games. I think that was a much tougher series than I thought it would be. So props to the Panthers for sticking to it. The Capitals were in every game, and Florida, I think, was on the verge of getting eliminated, but they got those overtime wins, which was very good for them. So the points leaders, Carter Verhaeghe, obviously the star of the series, 12 points, 6 goals in 6 games, which is amazing. What a series he had. Claude Giroux had a pretty good series. Barkov, Ekblad, and Reinhart make up that top 5. Sergei Bobrovsky, 4-2, 2.79 goals against average, a 906 save percentage. He played fine. I think as good as we would expect him to. We'll see if he plays as good as he has. I think he does need to play better to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. So power play, they did not score a goal in their 18 opportunities against the Capitals, so their power play is at 0%. Penalty kill is 70.8%. Season series was tied 2-2. So for the Tampa Bay Lightning, 51-23-8, 110 points, defeated the Maple Leafs in 7 games, a big achievement. They scored 23 goals and allowed 24. Their points leaders, Nikita Kucherov, 8 points. Victor Hedman, 7 points. Great defensive structure, of course. Ross Colton and Andre Palat, 5 points. Brayden Point, Nick Paul, and Steven Stamkos, 4 points each. Nick Paul, what a game 7 he had against the Maple Leafs. Such an important player with his 2 goals. So no, not always the stars that score in the important moments. Goaltending, Vasilevsky, 4-3, 3.04 goals to the average, and an 897 save percentage. Looks a little pedestrian numbers, but Game 7 was a good one. So Vasilevsky could easily bounce back, and Florida needs to pounce on these numbers. But Vasilevsky could easily bounce back for sure. Power play for Tampa, 21.2%, penalty killing 85.7%. And the season series is tied. So let's take a look at some storylines here. So the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning will take the Sunshine State rivalry when they meet for a second straight year in the Eastern Conference second round. Obviously, they met in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time last year in round one, in which Tampa Bay won that in 6 games. So the Lightning, of course, looking to win their 3rd straight Stanley Cup and three-peat, for Florida wants to exact some revenge. So Florida obviously brimming with confidence after defeating the Capitals in 6 games and getting their first playoff win since 1996. So I think that's honestly pretty good achievement for Florida. And obviously they want to take another step. And they've proven this year that they've been a good team. Winning the President's Trophy. And we'll see what happens in Florida. So some big players in the first round. Carter Verhaeghe. What a first round for Carter Verhaeghe. 12 points, 6 goals, 6 assists. Outshining Claude Giroux, Barkov, Reinhart, Huberdeau. So he's been very good, very talented player we have here. He scored the overtime winner in game 4. He had 5 points in game 5, and he scored the overtime winner and also had an assist in game 6. So great on Carter Verhaeghe for really finding his game in round 1, and he looks dangerous. For Tampa Bay, obviously Kucherov leading the team, and I think their offense has been pretty balanced. A lot of players have chipped in. For goaltending, Bobrovsky is pretty solid, and he played more than 2 games in his 12 NHL seasons, and a 906 save percentage, and he won his 2nd postseason series when he played more than 2 games in his last 12 seasons. So good on Bobrovsky. Spencer Knight, he did start the final 2 games in the series against the Lightning in the regular season. So we'll see if Spencer Knight gets some action here. I don't think so, but we know how goaltenders have had their struggles, so we'll see. So some numbers to know here. Special teams, I think, have been very interesting to look at, because Florida didn't score on their power play. And with their potent offense, you would think that they would score on their power play, but they haven't. Penalty killing looks subpar. Tampa Bay needs to take advantage of that, and they have decent power play, and their penalty killing has been looking pretty good, and they've really shut down the Maple Leafs. So, some injuries that we have to look at here. Obviously, Carter Verhaeghe and Aaron Ekblad had their on and off injuries, I believe in game 7. Ben Sherrod as well for Florida. For Tampa, Kucherov reported to be battling something, maybe an illness or something. And Braden Point obviously injured in game 7. First of all, props to Braden Point for trying to play through his injury. I think it's very admirable. He looked dejected after he knew he couldn't play the rest of game 7. A lot of players are playing through their injuries. I honestly think that Igor Shesterkin was injured for the Rangers. Obviously not disclosed. And obviously Tristan Jarry playing in game 7 for the Penguins on a broken foot. So people are playing through their stuff. So props to them, but they really have to rest. Now, the key to the Panthers winning this series is if they can bounce back from those brutal first periods. I know they can, but they need to have better first periods. They need to score the opening goal more, and they can't rely on being the comeback Cats. That's what they're known for this season, but they really need to step up their game earlier in the game. It's not a blueprint. Chasing games against the Tampa Bay Lightning is not a recipe for success. Tampa Bay knows how to lock it down. So Florida needs to really start on time. For Tampa, obviously Braden Point's injury is a concern, but they've played very well. they didn't run out of gas. If Vasilevsky plays the semblance of a better game, I think Vasilevsky will potentially be able to steal games again. So we'll see. First of all, for Tampa, I really do think beating the Maple Leafs was a big achievement. The Maple Leafs probably assembled their best team, even though they lost in the first round again. But I think they really gave the Lightning all they had. So the Lightning are fresh off a very tough series that they battled out of. For Florida, they really did struggle against the Capitals. And I predicted Florida in 6 games, but the Capitals really almost won that series. It really came down to those overtime games, and I really do think that the Panthers struggled more than I thought they would. So that's why my prediction is going to be Tampa Bay in 7 games. Contrary to my bracket has Florida winning this, and I really do want Florida to win this. But objectively, I do think Tampa Bay has the better balanced team. I think Florida was a bit inconsistent in that first round, and Tampa Bay, I think, was pretty consistent, except for that one game, like game 1. Otherwise, they looked very good. And if Tampa Bay plays the same way they played, I think Tampa Bay is in pretty good shape to win this. I think it's going to be a very nasty series, a very tight checking series. It's going to be very close, I think, but I think Tampa Bay takes this one. I wouldn't put it past Florida to win this either, but Tampa Bay has been playing well. They probably get rewarded here. So let me know who you think is going to win this series in the comment section below. I'll also leave how you did on the first round brackets in the comment section below, and we'll see you in our next preview. Until then, take care, everyone, and see you later.